Hello and welcome to all students in this my YouTube channel. Now students, we are in the topic of some basic concepts of chemistry of 11th chemistry standard from science stream. And students, in our last lecture we have reached up to the point that is units and fundamental units. Now students, in continuation with that, the next point of our chapter is the physical properties. Now students, what are the physical properties and for the measurement of matter that we are going to learn, and along with that we are going to learn how these units or the physical quantities which are important for the measurement of matter that we already seen in our last lecture. So let us be in continuation with physical properties. So let us study one by one. In that, the first one physical property is the mass and weight. Now students, mass and weight, what is the difference between both of these? Now that we are going to learn. Students, you should know about the difference between these two. Then we can understand what is meant by where we can use whether mass or weight. So this is a very important thing. The mass of a body does not vary as its position changes. Means it will remain same. So what about the weight? But weight, we can say that weight has, means there is a one influence on their weight, and that quantity is nothing but the gravitational force. Now students, gravitational force which acts on a particular body, what does it means? Means suppose our body has 55 kg of weight, and if we measure at the same time, if we measure the mass of our body, mass will remain same, but weight of our body will change as the gravitational force changes. So the influence of gravitational force will be present on weight but not on mass. So students, for the measurement of accurate mass of a body or the matter which we are going to measure, we are considering particularly mass, not a weight, because weight can change with the position. As the position changes, gravitational force which is acting on that particular matter or the body will changes. So we will prefer for the measurement the mass. Now students, mass of a body is more fundamental property than that of the weight, we can say. So this is the important thing that you should keep in our mind. Now students, the basic unit of mass in SI system is nothing but the kilogram. Kilogram is the unit of a mass that we are going to prefer, and along with that we will see some conversions. Now what are the conversions for kilogram into gram, that now we are going to consider here. The short form of this kilogram is kg, like that we are going to write, and the smallest unit of this kilogram is gram, that we will write as a small m, small g. So students, this is the important conversions that now we are going to consider here. The conversion is that if we weigh 1 kg of a particular matter and if you want to convert it into gram, then how that conversion will take place, that now we are going to see. 1 kg is nothing but 1000 gram, and that 1000 gram is nothing but 1 kg. So likewise, that conversion we are going to see. But if you want to write it in 10 raised to power, then we can write it as a 10 raised to 3 gram. Both has the same meaning, because for writing in this style, that is in 10 raised to something power, so we are taking the help of this 10 raised to 3, means 10 raised to 3 indicates 1000. So 1 kg is nothing but we can say 1000 gram. Now students, after this we are going to study the next point of this chapter is nothing but the length. The second physical property is nothing but the length. Now students, in chemistry, where the length has measured, this is a very important thing. For the measurement of length, likewise in physics, we can measure the length of wire, we can measure the length of rod. But in chemistry, where this length is required, or for which different quantities we are going to measure its length, that is very important. And that is nothing but if you want to measure the atomic radius, bond length, wavelength, for all these things we need the length. The physical quantity we need is nothing but the length. And students, at there we are going to measure its corresponding length. Now students, if you want to measure the length in our chemistry, it will be in very minor quantity, not in centimeter, meter or kilometer like that. These are the biggest quantities. But in our chemistry, we require the length in very small quantities. So that small quantities are nothing but the nanometer, meter, means their conversion also we can see, picometer also we are using. For our sake of simplicity, we can convert it into meter afterward. But in picometer or in nanometer, we are measuring bond length, or we can say the wavelength and atomic radius, like these quantities. So students, we will see the convergence of this length which we are using in our chemistry study. 1 nanometer is equal to, if you want to convert it into meter, then it is nothing but 10 raised to minus 9 meter. This is the conversion of 1 nanometer into meter. And at the same time, if you want to convert 1 picometer into its corresponding meter, it will be 10 raised to minus 12 meter. So students, this convergence that you should keep in mind for solving different types of problems and for the measurement, their convergence are very important. So this is the conversion of nanometer into meter and picometer into its corresponding meter. So students, this is the conversion. And the next physical quantity that now we are going to learn is nothing but the volume. The third physical quantity that now we are going to measure is nothing but the volume. Students, all of you know that liquids and gases, for that we are going to measure the volume, and this volume plays an important role, how much that liquid or the gas which is present in a given particular container. So that measurement is very important. So students, volume, what it tells us, if we take a liquid or gas and if we take that liquid in a particular container, it does not have any shape. As it don't have any shape, it will take the shape of the container in which it is taken. So this is very important in case of volume. Now students, for the measurement of volume, we are using different kinds of units, that is liter, 1 liter is nothing but, we can say that 1000 ml. So students, this is the basic conversion. All of you know that 1 liter, how we are going to measure. If we have a block like this, suppose this is a block, and for this block, if we want to measure its length, breadth and height, LBH, length, breadth and height. If you want to measure all these quantities, then we can say that if you want to measure the volume for this cube, then we can say that we will multiply all these quantities, then we will get its corresponding volume. Now students, like that, this 1 liter quantity is nothing but 1 dm cube, we can call it. Why we are using this dm cube? Dm cube stands for L into B into H. Suppose if we consider all these quantities are same, dm in dm, then it becomes dm cube. So 1 we can call it as 1 liter, we can call it as 1 dm cube, and at the same time we can also use here at the place of ml, we can use here centimeter cube, cm cube. Means 1 dm cube is nothing but 1000 cm cube. Or instead of that, we can also write 10 raised to 3 cm cube. Both has the same meaning. Only this conversion is very important. So students, this is the next point of our physical quantity, is nothing but the volume. And if you look at, there are different physical properties which we are using in our daily life. That in among that we will see one of the physical quantity again, and that is nothing but the density. So this is the fourth physical quantity from this topic, is nothing but the density. Now students, what this density stands for, or what does it mean? Density is nothing but its mass per unit volume. Suppose if we have a body which is having mass m, and if it is have a volume of v, then density we can find with the help of this formula. Density is equal to mass upon volume. So this is the formula for finding the density. Now students, as density, which is plays an important role for the measurement of density of liquids and density of a particular substance, so in our basic chemistry, this is very important factor. And if you want to calculate its units, we can also calculate it. But the students, the very important thing is that it is determined in laboratory for the measurement of both mass and the volume of its sample. Means with the help of mass and volume, we can find out the density of a particular substance that we want to examine it. Now students, that density which is used for the calculation of whether a particular, if you have both liquids, all of you know that if we take a good example of oil and water, if we mix it, then what will happen? That oil will float over the liquid water. What does it means? Liquid water has the more density than that of the oil, or we can also say in another words, oil has a less density than that of the water. Means for that for the deciding whether which liquid has the less density or more density, we are taking the help of this factor, that is density. Now if you want to measure the units or how conversion of that units with the help of these two factors, that now we are going to learn. SI unit of density the SI unit of density. Now we are going to measure SI unit of density is nothing but the SI unit of mass, SI unit of mass divided by SI unit of volume. So students, this is very important ratio. With the help of these two units, we can decide the unit of density. Students, if we measure it in SI unit, then mass we are measuring in kilogram, and the volume which we are measuring is in meter cube. So the unit of density in SI becomes kg into meter raised to minus 3, or we can also say kg per meter cube. If you want to measure this unit in the smallest quantity, in that is in CGS unit, then we can use, instead of that kg, gram into centimeter raised to minus 3, or we can also write instead of this we can also write gram per centimeter cube. Gram per centimeter cube, both has the same meaning. Instead of writing this minus 3, you can also use this divided by factor, that is cross mark. So this is all about what we can say the density. Now students, in continuation with this, the another quantity that now we are going to learn is nothing but the temperature. Now students, this is the fifth quantity from this physical properties, the temperature. Students, all of you know that where we are using this factor, that is temperature, for the measurement of temperature of any liquid or the solid, or you can say the atmospheric temperature also we are going to measure sometimes. So temperature plays an important role in our chemistry. Temperature is a measure of the hotness or coldness of an object. Whether that body is in cold condition or hot condition, we can decide with the measurement of temperature. So temperature plays an important role. There are three common scales which we are going for the measurement of temperature, are nothing but the first one is degree Celsius, and the second one is degree Fahrenheit, and the third one is Kelvin. So students, these are the three different factors by which we can measure the temperature of a body. Now students, if we use in our daily life a thermometer, in that thermometer, it means that thermometer is constructed for the measurement of temperature from 0 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. Why 0 to 100 degree Celsius? Because students, we will get the freezing point of water as a 0 degree Celsius and the boiling point of water as a 100 degree Celsius. So by considering a water as a standard, we are using the thermometer from 0 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. Now students, if we use another thermometer which is in medical purpose, means if you for the measurement of your illness or the body temperature, for the measurement of our body temperature, some doctors, they are using a degree Fahrenheit as a thermometer, means the degree Fahrenheit scale which is present in that thermometer, that thermometer is using it for the medical purpose. And the next factor which is we are using in different research purposes, that is temperature we are measuring in the form of Kelvin. Now how this interconvergence for these three different factors is present, that now we are going to learn. Suppose students, if you want to convert a degree Celsius into Fahrenheit, one conversion is present, and that conversion now we are going to see is nothing but degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9 by 5 into degree Celsius plus 13. Students, this is the one of the formula. By this formula we can measure a temperature which we have recorded in degree Fahrenheit, and if you want to calculate that in degree Celsius, then we can use this formula. And suppose if you want to calculate it in degree Celsius, we can also interconvert both. So this is the formula for the conversion of degree Celsius into Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit into degree Celsius. So after that, students, suppose if you want to convert degree Celsius into Kelvin, then we can also interconvert by using a formula. Kelvin, K is equal to degree Celsius means the temperature which is in degree Celsius that we have recorded plus 273. So this is the formula. If you want to measure it in accurate, then you can use 273.15. So this is the formula by which we can calculate the temperature in Kelvin, or if you want to calculate it in degree Celsius, and if you are provided with Kelvin temperature, then you can also convert. So students, these are the two conversions by which we can convert the temperature from degree Celsius to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to degree Celsius and degree Celsius to Kelvin or Kelvin to degree Celsius. So this is all about in our today's lecture. We have seen the 5 physical properties which we are using in our basic chemistry. So this is all about in today's lecture. Thank you very much.